12 grandiose buildings in China in the last couple of years. The rapidly developing Chinese architecture reflects the world's leading trends. These are the integration of buildings into the environment, the reduction of the carbon footprint both during the construction and operation of buildings, the use of the latest construction methods, from parametric design to the use of ultra-light materials that reduce the thermal impact on the environment. 1. Shimao. Lasem Architects. Tianjin. Shanghai. Based architecture firm Lasem Architects has created the Shimao Multifunctional Exhibition Center. The wave in a new area of Tianjin City in northeast China. The project, which combines entertainment, cultural and educational program, was built using information modeling, BIM. The building on the shore of the Bohai Bay resembles the shape of a sea wave. The aluminum plate cladding is developed using parametric design. Using a mathematical model, the architects were able to place more than 13,000 aluminum elements on the building, twisted into a rhythmic spiral. 2. Sunac Grand Theatre. Stephen Chilton Architects. Guangzhou. Stephen Chilton Architects has completed the construction of a theatre in Guangzhou. The ambitious project received the loud name Sunac Grand Theatre. We drew inspiration from the traditional and contemporary art of the region. Silk fabric has been woven, dyed and embroidered in Guangzhou since the Han Dynasty. The theatre is shrouded in red cladding of triangular aluminum panels, reminiscent of the folds of flowing silk, says Stephen Chilton. Darker designs inspired by tattoo art have been applied over the red facing, and a series of golden animal figures, characters from the local myth 100 birds paying homage to the phoenix, have been added over the base layer. Tattoo culture has recently evolved into a respected art genre promoted by the younger generation. This sparked a new interest in Chinese mythology, rich in expressive symbols. 3. Baoan Cultural Complex. Rocco Design Architects Associates. Shenzhen. The cultural complex, designed by Rocco Design Architects Associates, was built in the Shenzhen area, overlooking Quanhai Bay and the South China Sea. It includes a library, a cultural center, and an arts venue. These buildings link the coastal landscape with developed commercial areas away from the sea. The total area of the project is 110,000 sq meters. The library, the youth palace and the cultural center have been completed as part of the first phase, while the performing arts center will be ready in early 2021. The facades of the buildings are designed in the artistic tradition of southern China, wood carving and ivory. This led to their organic shape and resemblance to perforated skin. The youth palace and the cultural and artistic center are conceived as two separate structures. The central courtyard and the amphitheater in this case turn out to be a social center and, moreover, provide the buildings with natural light and ventilation. 4. Olympic Sports Center. NBBJ. Hangzhou. The impressive 400,000 square meter stadium was designed by NBBJ to resemble a lotus. These flowers grow on West Lake, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The petal-like cladding of this 80,000-seat stadium is visible from afar, making it the centerpiece of the entire coastal Olympic Sports Center. The complex's main football stadium can also host various sporting events, including the 2022 Asian Games. The main construction material is steel. For the construction of the outer facades and roof, NBBJ used parametric calculations. This was done to achieve lightness of construction, reduce waste during construction and the carbon footprint of the building. 5. Community Center Land. Ide Architecture. Fengdong. Designed by Ide Architecture, Land Community Center is located in Fengdong. It became a social and cultural platform for the growing Xi'an region. It was conceived as a floating gate. The complex consists of a public service center, a cafeteria, a gallery, a multi-purpose room for educational and entertainment purposes, a reading room, a kindergarten, and a badminton hall. It also has basketball courts, a gym, and a pool on the lower level. The building resembles a sculpture. The contrast between the complex organic volume below and the simple one above conveys the dualism of the Chinese architectural tradition. To achieve sculptural quality, experiments were carried out on the production of prefabricated fiberglass panels. Digital production was combined with local crafts. The cladding is remarkable. It is a dynamic surface with a ripple effect. The upper segment of the building is surrounded by a curved facade made of low-iron high-performance glass. The building is LEED Gold certified. Unlike many of China's latest structures, this gravity-defying structure marks the emergence of open and inclusive civic spaces for shared living. 6. Fashion Factory B Courtyard. Anti-statics architecture. Beijing. The Beijing Fashion Factory by Anti-Statics Architecture is a converted industrial site. The creators of the new cluster perceived the interweaving of fabric as a metaphor and the driving force of design. In the design of the building itself, several techniques were borrowed from the couturier, including drapery, embroidery, printing, and weaving. If you look at the complex as a whole, it resembles a kind of seam graphics. Simple and repetitive movements create a clear rhythm in space. Many of the artifacts left at the construction site were used to decorate the courtyards. This was how materials were recycled and reused. The renovation of the interior has already taken into account the impact of the pandemic, so the interior of each building was oriented towards an individual entrance. The interior spaces have been redesigned so that the main entrances face the central space of the open courtyard. Each unit has its own heating, ventilation and air conditioning system, further isolating people in the internal workspaces. 7. Crystal Skybridge. Safdie Architects. Chongqing. The silhouette of the complex is inspired by junks, traditional Chinese sailing ships. The horizontal skyscraper connects four 250-meter towers. Seismic isolation supports of the towers ensure safety, as the complex is located in the earthquake zone. The area of Crystal Skybridge is 15,000 square meters. It is made in the form of a glass and steel tube and has an elliptical cross-section. The outer walls of the horizontal skyscraper are reinforced with a spiral structure. The western side is shaded from the sun by metal panels. Both ends of the giant tube open onto glass-floored viewing platforms. It offers incredible views of the city and the confluence of the Jialing and Yangtze rivers. Inside, there is a park with tall trees and infinite pools that blur the boundaries between the surrounding landscape and the architecture of the skyscraper. Crystal Skybridge includes bars, restaurants, a clubhouse and a hotel lobby, all at an altitude of 250 meters. 8. Plaza Prince. OMA. Shenzhen. Designed by OMA and David Genoten, this multifunctional podium tower was commissioned by CMSK, China Merchants Shekou Holdings. The high-rise ensemble, visually consisting of four rectangular volumes, has several viewing platforms, not only on the roof, but also several levels below. These were supposed to be ideal vantage points for both the public and tenants. From here you can clearly see both nature and city panoramas, which Shenzhen is so proud of. OMA's managing partner, architect David Genoten, explains. We deliberately created a distinct non-monolithic structure to show the world architecture that is different from buildings of similar size in the immediate area. The base of the tower is a podium mall with an area of 40,000 sq meters. Where the observation corridor passes, a noticeable opening has been created, decorated with a facade of the same type as the upper decks. The facade of the building was designed in collaboration with Arup. 9. Complex Ploshchad Kulturi. GMP Architects. Changzhou. The complex designed by GMP Architects is a special place. It is surrounded by a public park and, together with the City Hall and the Changzhou Grand Theater to the north, forms the new city center. The project consists of 6 identical, freestanding buildings, which are located at an angle to each other. Each occupies an area of 70 x 70 meters and, being an independent block with a separate entrance and lobby, performs one of the functions of the complex: museum, library, hotel and office. Facades, in accordance with the basic concept, obey the principle of unity and diversity. The curved slots are highlighted by elegant facade glazing that exposes the edges of the cut and emphasizes the abstract form of the buildings. Horizontal blinds made of natural stone or metal serve as external sun protection, which significantly increases the energy efficiency of buildings. At night, when the buildings are illuminated from within, the arched illuminated areas create an impressive interplay between inside and outside. 10. Jumpcan Health Technology Exhibition Center. Huajian Group Shanghai Architectural Design and Research Institute. Tayson. The exhibition center, designed by Huajian Group Shanghai Architectural Design and Research Institute, is located in Jichuan Pharmaceutical Industrial Park. Jichuan Pharmaceutical is known for its specialization in traditional Chinese medicine. Admiration for nature is part of her corporate culture. The architecture is inspired by nature. The interaction between the building and the environment is rather modest and gentle. The creators aimed to create a fluid impression in which each component does not have a fixed shape. The upper rooms are half surrounded by a garden. The building has fully taken into account the ecological and environmental aspects of the form and design of the facade, which integrates lighting technology, aesthetics and functional use. 11. Spring City 66. Kohn Pedersen Fox. Kunming. One of the largest commercial complexes in Kunming, designed by Kohn Pedersen Fox, covers an area of 430,000 square meters. It consists of a retail podium and an office tower. The promenade, reminiscent of the green valleys of the region, is the centerpiece of the project, while the hilly shop podium and rock tower are copied from the karst formations of the nearby Schillenstone forest. The architects envisioned a smart facade. Y-shaped ribs on the east and west facades create shadows, while the north and south facades offer unobstructed views of the city and natural landscapes. The complex was created according to sustainable design standards. Spring City 66 ensures maximum energy savings, environmental comfort and material efficiency. The landscaping of the square removes pollutants from the air, while protective covers help manage rainwater by diverting wastewater into a cistern. A green catwalk roof improves insulation, reduces stormwater runoff and reduces the greenhouse effect. The roof includes photovoltaic panels that minimize the project's dependence on the Kunming power grid. 12. Hem Museum. Tadao Ando Architect and Associates. Shund. Pritzker Prize-winning Japanese architect Tadao Ando Architect and Associates has completed the first museum project in southern China dedicated to regional Lingnan culture and contemporary Western art. The founder of Hem, He Jianfeng, owner of the influential Infer Group, hopes that the works of Pablo Picasso, Olafur Eliasson and Damien Hirst, as well as Chinese ink and Cantonese art within the walls of the museum institution, will generate serious interest in culture and art. In the design of the Hem, Ando draws inspiration from ancient Chinese cosmology. The characteristic circles of the building reflect the ancient belief that the sky is round and divine, while the earth is square. Entrance to the 16,000 sq. meters, located next to the headquarters of Infer. Inside, an imposing pair of stairs in Ando's signature silver concrete, spiraling in a double helix, create a Guggenheim atmosphere, accentuated by the cantilevered ascending floors.